everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Everyday Whiskey. I'm Dan.
And I'm Mike. And this week we are going over Fox and Oden, but we've also come to a recent discovery, so we decided to feature Joseph Magnus in this again.
We'll explain that in a second. And apologies for the recent gap in a couple videos. We've been trying to do a video every week. We have been trying to do it, but you know, we have both had some personal stuff come up and scheduling conflicts. So like, we're gonna try and get more of a regular scheduled video out.
I think we should just keep going to 2 weeks to keep it, because things come up in both of our lives right now.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of like the schedule we're gonna be doing for now. So I thought you couldn't get this in New Jersey. So when I was in Lake Placid and I saw this bottle, I had to get it because it's a really cool fucking bottle.
Yep.
And then Mike gladly texted me a picture of it.
I found it at a store.
That's literally 10 miles from my house. And I wanted to, like, rage throw my phone into the goddamn highway.
The good news is, though, at least you didn't overpay. Because
I
they
underpaid.
were trying to sell you for a higher amount. You got it down to...
I swindled.
Yeah, you swindled it down to...
83.
83. And it's on the shelf at the store like that I found at 89. I think, no, it was 89. 90. So, like...
Saved a little money. Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, I saved some money. But either way, that's not the point.
No.
Let's get into it. This is one of the coolest. I literally wanted it just because it's one of the coolest bottles. It reminds me of like very Old Fitzy. Kind of.
It's like a cross between like Willet and Old Fitz,
but better than like Willet, obviously. Yeah. But and obviously I've had it, but we haven't had an episode and we haven't rated it yet. And Mike, I think, had it last week.
Yeah, it's got a very similar neck to the Willet, and like the cap is also kind of like.
Yeah,
the way it
I guess kind of
out and rounds out.
And as most people know, like the Willet bottle is reminiscent of the first family still. That's why it's shaped like that. But it's just a really cool, like ornate, like kind of decanter style bottle. Which to me, this gives it points alone. Like as far as like a bar piece, that's kind of cool. But we're not rating the glass; we're rating what's inside the bottle. Yes. So glad to be back together.
Cheers.
All right, I definitely so if you go online, it's gonna say that the nose smells of fig, butterscotch, and I think nutmeg. I definitely get butterscotch.
I get butterscotch. I get honey on the nose, though.
I do get honey too, like raw honey though, not like the sweet shit in the bear.
No, not the fakes, like just natural honey.
Not the fakey stuff.
Yeah, honey.
I don't get baking spices. I really don't get.
No,
I
don't get any spices.
I get a little tinge of ethanol, a slight tinge of ethanol.
Maybe there's a slight cinnamon note
Definitely.
if I really try to pick it out.
Yeah, again, like this is like someone telling us what this, so I guess we're trying to look for these, so it's making it easier. But
and I don't really.
To me, I just smell like really good oak. I do smell the butterscotch.
Honey, butterscotch. Yeah, there's a lot of sweet
honey,
notes and
like a little bit of like I guess like a little cinnamony. Like a little.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can maybe pinpoint some cinnamon, if anything.
Yeah, like I'm definitely. Actually, I am getting some baking spices now that I'm going into it. But yeah, let's drink it.
The palate is very spicy.
Yeah, and that's the high rye mash bills. Like,
yeah.
Ow! No, fuck! Whiskey cat attack.
Sorry, a cat just clawed me.
Yoda, no.
Yeah, I get all the spices.
Yeah, up front, immediately up
front. This reminds me of very like winter,
but it tastes like toffee.
Winter-esque bourbon.
I get toffee though. Like once the spices kind of like dilute back.
Yeah.
I get toffee and then.
Yeah, I'm hit up front with the spices.
Yeah, a lot of spice.
Is there rye in this? Is there a rye mash bill?
Oh yeah, it's 21% rye and 36%. Like these are high rye mash bills, so that's
the rye does show through.
Yeah, but then you get like some. I just get, like I said, it says like, okay, so on the palate it says salted caramel, smoky charred oak, and leather. Leather for sure.
Definitely the
100% leather.
And the baking spices.
And the charred oak I definitely get too, but the baking spices that I think people are saying like is the nose is coming through hard on the palate. Yeah,
definitely on the palate. And I don't get the salted caramel.
I don't get that at all. Like I like salted caramel, and I don't get that at all.
I'd pinpoint that.
This is a really good bourbon though, and like it's definitely a little heavier. It's a little denser. It's got some complexity to it.
Maybe a little bit on the car. I don't know. To me, what shines through is all the notes of your traditional rye. And then like the smoky char.
Yeah, you get kind of some of that, a little bit of that tinge of black licorice up front, and then you get some really big like allspice. Like,
all the baking spices.
Big bold baking spices you get at the front of the palate, and then it softens out. And I kind of get some toffee, and then it finishes out with kind of that smoked oak.
Smoky oak. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's pretty good. Right at the end is where the oak.
Yeah, the oak is a really
in.
good finisher, but it's kind of a back. It's a reverse Maker's Mark, where Maker's Mark
Yeah.
wants it to be sweet, and then you kind of get like the rye punch in the back. This is like you rye punch up front, and it really smooths out and becomes super clean.
It does. It does get
in the
clean.
second half. I really do like this bottle. Like
I do.
I
It's a
don't
good
know
sipper.
if the liquid matches how cool the bottle is. I don't know if it's
No.
like that, and it is $90. So that you gotta remember that too.
I don't know if it really.
This was $90 too. They're same price.
They are the same price. Yeah, $90 I'd say is a little steep for this. Again, we've never really heard of it until recently.
I saw it
doesn't
on,
I mean, maybe it does have a big following behind
Yeah.
it, and we just don't know.
I saw it on the Bourbon Whiskey Library, one of his
They got
posts.
every bottle
Yeah,
in the
no, he has,
world.
yeah. It's Anthony.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're never gonna compete with you, and I know you don't expect anyone to compete with you.
No,
but,
you guys got everything.
thank you for the post on this. That's the reason I got it, because I saw you had it.
Yeah.
I really like it. It's got a little. It's for what it is for 8 to 15-year-old blends. It does have some heat to it. Not
Yeah.
that I want it to be like smooth, but I would like it to be a little more subtle. I
Yeah,
think.
definitely a little more palatable, a little easier.
But it's got flavor.
Smooth,
It's got flavor though. It's got
It
really
does.
good flavor. So I'm comfortable going like 6.7.
Okay, I'm gonna meet you right there. Honestly,
I think that's realistic.
Yeah.
I think there's plenty of room for improvement.
definitely, especially at
Um,
that price tag. That's a high price tag.
At $90, I paid 83, like I said, but I wouldn't do it again. Let's go
Yeah,
with that.
once you're out of the bottle, it's kind of like
Like-
cool, had it, done with
At like
it.
$80, like I'd rather buy like a Knob Creek 12 year, something
Yeah.
along those lines. Like it's more of a surefire shot. This was definitely like a fucking shot from the hip.
I mean, dude, at $80, I'd rather buy a couple bottles that we
Yeah, yeah,
reviewed,
so-
like some of the like last week with
You
the
know.
BIBs and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Like,
So-
I'd rather buy 2 of those. And
Super cool, but not my favorite.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about, I will say though, a good story sells a bottle, and I
Mhm.
will always say that. I'll always stick by that.
well, it's true.
And a good story sold me on this bottle. So the story that I was told, the story that I was reconfirmed when I was online. Hey, knock it off! It's my cat. Sorry. Was that so? Basically, Joseph Magnus's great grandson, I guess, was in the distillery, and I'm just kind of like creating a scenario for you right now. And he comes across, I guess, some like something wrapped in a blanket or some sort of like container, and he found something that looked like this. It was a 122-year-old bottle of bourbon that his grandfather made in 1892, and it is said to be Joseph Magnus's original recipe.
Okay.
So this is to be reminiscent of the original recipe, which Joseph Magnus is one of the few guys who was a pre-prohibitionary distiller.
yeah.
And he made it all the way through Prohibition and whatnot, and in the 50s, 60s, kind of picked up big traction with this Joseph Magnus brand.
Mm-hmm.
They're based in Holland, Michigan, and this is kind of his great grandson's homage to his grandfather, essentially. So super cool. Really like the bottle. Liquid doesn't really match
No.
the bottle, but so we said 6.7 out of 10.
Yep.
Is what it is.
Average.
All right, this we've done before.
Yes.
But I
never
don't
rated.
think we did it on a rating.
I don't believe we did either.
So it's finished in sherry and cognac cask. This is like my personal go-to cigar bourbon,
Yeah.
I believe. I go back and forth between this and Old Ezra 7.
Oh, yeah, I know that Ezra 7. All right.
So again, off the back, this nose
Ooh,
is
malty.
Malty, chocolately, funky.
Yeah. I get more caramel on this nose than
Yeah.
I do that other one.
But this is just like a welded, and again, they're both the same price. They're both $90 for the
Yeah.
bottle. This is a really good nose. It's
it's smoky a little bit.
I get like some cracked pepper in there.
A little oak on the nose. Maple.
And that's just good.
Now see this.
Is what you would think would be in this.
Yeah.
This is just good though.
This has that nice, subtle, smooth
Smooth.
texture, feel, taste. I don't know what you want to call it. It's very palatable, easy drinking.
It's got layers to it though.
Yeah.
There's not just one linear flavor. You've got
no.
the funkiness and sweetness from the sherry. You've got the earthy and fruitiness of the cognac finish. Then you've got the smoked oak from the barrels, and then you've got a slight little butterscotch / baking spice combination going on too. There's just so much going on, but it's so well structured you can kind of pick it all out.
Yeah. And it just goes down easy. No, not a lot of burn or anything like that. not ethanol-y at all.
No, and
It's just packed with flavor.
I don't know the age statements on this. I don't know if they said what was on there. It's not going to be on there.
Oh man, I forget.
I don't think it's going to say it on there.
Oh, it's triple cask finished. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
it's American oak, sherry, and cognac.
I forgot.
They kind of do what Angel's Envy does, but like they add another level. Angel's Envy's port cast finished.
Angel's Envy will still be one of my all-time
I
favorites.
personally, for the money, it's $30 cheaper. I will buy
Yeah.
Angel's Envy every time, but this is a cool little treat.
This is good, and it's not out all the time. I mean, I've seen it pretty available now, but
It's
definitely
easy to
not
find
as
either.
easy to find
Yeah.
as Angel's Envy.
Okay, so no doubt we like this one.
Mm-hmm.
This one for me, like again, at $90, I'm going with like a 7.9.
I'm gonna do. See, that's a little high. I don't know. I'm like, let's do. I'm gonna go like 7.7. So let's call it a 7.8.
All right,
Neat.
7.8 for the Joseph Magnus. So in the fight between great grandfather and great grandson,
Yeah.
Grandpa wins it.
Yeah. Grandpa knows best.
Grandpa wins it by about 10 points.
Yeah.
So or 0.10 points.
Yeah.
Or no, 1 point.
Yeah. 1 whole point.
1 whole point. Sorry,
Almost.
mathing's hard.
1.1 point technically, because that was
And-
6.7.
But it's made in the same house. I'm sure it's the same master blender type deal.
It could be. They're both MGP.
They're
blends,
both. Yeah, I
so.
think they're both MGP. If we're wrong, correct us
No,
on that.
I know Magnus is. Magnus is an MGP.
Okay, so but this makes sense.
Yeah.
To me, I'm good with this. I like this outcome. If we did rate this in the last episode, I hope we're close. I hope that didn't break. Whatever, we'll find it out later. But in the closing statements, you got to do 3 things if you've made it this far. So please comment on the video if you have anything to add to it. If you want to correct us, you want
Yes,
to say,
please.
you know, please, yes, please. Or if you just want to say, hey, great job, guys, love the video. That's super supportive, and we appreciate it.
Definitely.
Also, please subscribe if you do like the video, if you're not already subscribed. And number 3, please like the video. It helps the algorithm, and it helps us simultaneously, too. So all you got to do, all of this is free. All of this is like 1 click away from your little thingy. Other than that, please drink safely and drink responsibly.
Cheers.
Bye.